What is up? Freaky Friday, Friday the fun day. I don't know what you want to call it. Lauren Javari here with the one and only I get to be graced with Howard Bender. Howard, how are you?
I'm doing extremely well. Thank you so much for having me
Yeah.
back. I was like, man, I hope I didn't screw up too badly the last time there, and Lauren wouldn't have me back. But lo and behold, here I am. Thank you for having me.
Here you are. I'm excited to do a show with you. I feel like we had so much fun last time, so why not bring it back? And this week, we get to talk about the NFC North. My people on the Detroit Lions, who are now the focal point of Hard Knocks. So that's been pretty fun. I honestly haven't watched an episode yet because for me, I want to be able to binge watch something. So I'm waiting till the
Mhm.
end so I can watch it all at once in like a 12-hour span. But you've been watching Hard Knocks. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are if this whole series doesn't end with everybody on the Lions holding somebody's leg and eating a kneecap, then I don't really feel like the Detroit Lions have justified being on Hard Knocks. But this is a team that will walk through walls like the Kool-Aid man for Dan Campbell. And
Yeah.
it's been fun. It's been exciting. And you as a fan will appreciate it more than me as a fantasy analyst, only in the sense that, you know, it's still the Lions. Let's not get crazy here, but they're going to be a fun team to watch this year, I think.
Yeah, they're still the Lions. They've been the Lions for my entire life, which has been 29 years and 10 months. And I don't expect anything differently on the field. They're still going to finish 1-5-1 in games decided by less than 4 points. That's who they are.
Oh,
That's who they've been for the last 5 years. Yeah, last year they finished 1-5-1 in games decided by 4 points or less. So pretty crazy stuff. But it's going to be exciting. So we have a lot of NFC North stuff to get into. We also have NFL news around the league. But first, Howard, we're going to start with our better up segment because we better up and make people bet
hmm.
better. Okay, let's get into MLB today. A lot of games on the slate tonight. I know I'm on 2 strikeout props, but we're going to start with your YRFI and your NRFI. Obviously, the first inning, yes runs first inning, no runs first inning. Please walk me through your slate of YRFI and NRFI on the board
Yeah,
today.
I am hardly the Yurfy Nerfy expert here. I leave that to Jared, right? So, I mean, if you want to
Mm-hmm.
lead there, I can. You want me to channel my inner Jared here?
Oh, yeah. Oh my
I
God.
could do
It's gotten
what?
creepier. You've drawn on it.
What are you talking? He's in disguise. He's in disguise, right? Why would you? And who wouldn't want laser eyes, right? It's just a disguise. That's it. That's it. That's it. I love you, Jared. I love you, baby.
Love you,
Um,
Jared. The best.
all right. So, kind of looking at certain things. Nerfies, I've got Miami Marlins and the Dodgers up there. You've got Tyler Anderson on the mound facing Jesus Luzardo. If you're looking at teams that favor the Nerfy a lot, don't really score a lot in that first inning. Dodgers are kind of middle of the road. Miami, definitely a team that could struggle early on there. So I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Houston, Atlanta, McCullers versus Kyle Wright. I know that McCullers looked good in his first outing. I know Kyle Wright has been struggling a little bit lately, but these are two teams who I think I'm a big fan of the pitching, and so I'm gonna err on the side of caution here and say that's a Nerfy. The
I like it.
Yerfies, yeah. Do you want to address these?
Oh
Sorry,
no, 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 no.
I didn't talk over.
Well, no, no, no. I like it. That's all. I keep going.
Okay,
Just the
and then just
Braves
the
pitching
Yerfies.
staff has been pretty good recently, coming off a good series against the Mets. So it's exciting to see. And Kyle Wright's had a little bit of rest. He hasn't played in like over a week, so he'll be pretty fresh heading into this game.
We hope, right? A little shoulder fatigue, a
Yeah.
little concern there going into the playoffs, but I'm going to be
Yes.
confident there. The Yerfies, St. Louis, Arizona, and Texas, Minnesota. St. Louis's bats are super hot, and Tommy Henry looked really good in his first outing, but I'm still in on those Cardinals bats. And then Texas, Minnesota, Dylan Bundy. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The dude is trash, and Texas is going to smack him around.
That's it. Dylan Bundy. Texas is trash.
No, no, no. I mean, like
I love it.
Dylan Bundy. Like, have you seen Dylan Bundy pitch? I mean, this guy. I feel bad for him, right? Because this kid coming up in the Orioles system,
Yeah.
fantastic, fantastic prospect. But they ruined his arm, pushing him back and forth, bullpen starting, and then surgeries on top of that. And you look at it right now. I mean, the dude's not going past 5 innings in a game in his last four starts.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't look good. And listen, I think the Texas bats. here in the heat can definitely step up.
No, I totally agree with you. I'm actually on two pitching props today, and both of them, get this, are at plus money, which, as I would say, you love to see. One of them is going to be my play of the day, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But the other one that I'm looking at is Aaron Nola, over 6.5 strikeouts. And you're like, well, they're going up against the Mets, and the Mets have been really, really good. I'm getting the 6.5 number at plus 112. And I'm looking at this in the over based on solely past results against the Mets rather than current trends of how he's been playing. He's gone up against the Mets 4 times this season. He struck out 29 batters over 24 in the third innings pitched, and he's gone over this total in 3 of his most recent starts against them. And I know the Mets have been solid against righties over the last 2 weeks. They have an incredible 124 WRC plus, but they still do have a strikeout rate that's north of 21%. So it leaves the door open a little bit. And Aaron Nola has been pitching really, really well against a team like that. He also has gone over this number, and let me count: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of his last 6 starts. So, I look back at that, and his last start was like back on August 13th, which was also against the Mets. He's been playing really, really well. He's able to punch these guys out regardless if the Phillies win or lose this game. He still has had the Mets number. So why not? Over 6.5, plus money, plus 112. Lock that bad boy in there. You have a couple unders also on the board for today, so please walk me through that slate, and then why you like the Rangers money line at plus money.
Oh, yeah. Well, because Dylan Bundy's trash. I'm just going to say it right there. Dylan Bundy is trash. I'm going to take the plus 120 for the Texas Rangers going up against Bundy here. Martin Perez, you look at the Minnesota Twins. They're good. They're not great against lefties. And listen, I've spent the majority of this season betting against Martin Perez, waiting for that other shoe to drop. It's August, baby. When am I going to wake up? I'm just going to side with the Rangers here. I'll take the plus odds on the money line, and to me it looks pretty tasty. Over unders, I'm taking a shot, right? I like the NRFI in Houston, Atlanta. I like the under 8. Both bullpens have been good, not great in the last 2 weeks here. But again, it's McCullers and it's Wright, and it's 2 pitchers who want to show their teams that they belong in this postseason rotation. They really are sharp pitchers. They do both have electric arms. If Kyle Wright's got enough rest, I like him to kind of hold Houston in check a little bit, and vice versa there for McCullers against Atlanta. I think that these 2 teams are going to battle. I think it's a nice little preview of a potential World Series here. So I think they're going to both they're going to fight, and it's going to be under on that one. And then my over is over 8.5 Boston against Baltimore. It's Cutter Crawford. It's Jordan Lyles. I mean, bing, bang, boom. Home run central.
I'm bing, bang, boom, home run central. So, yeah, you're bored. 2 NRFIs, 2 YRFIs, an under, an over, and a money line. We got a full-on sprinkle. I have 2 strikeout props today. I gave you that Aaron Nola one, over 6.5 at plus 112. You'll have to wait till the end of the show for my other one because I'm very, very high on Kevin Gausman right now. So, a little sprinkle for you. Wait until the end of the show, because right now we're taking it from the ballpark to the field. We got some NFL news going on yesterday, a lot going on. Number one, Deshaun Watson officially suspended now for the first 11 games of the season. The Browns win total after this news came out dropped from 9.5 to 8.5. For me, I look at a guy like Jacoby Brissett, and Howard, I don't know if you feel the same way. He is a proven veteran, but he's not very good. But the Browns still have a top 5 most talented roster in the NFL with a decent journeyman that's kind of been traveling all around different teams. And he's proved he can win in the NFL. But at the same time, like, he went 7-8 as a starter for the Colts in 2019, who won the playoff game the year before. Like, Brissett's a good backup, but he's probably a bottom 5 starter. Do you see the Browns being able to get over 8.5 here in this spot without Deshaun Watson in the first 11 games of the season?
That's a real tough one. It really is, because you know what? I'm a big fan of the Browns. I really do like them. I'm probably going to leave this win total alone, dropping down to 8.5, because listen, I love the Browns running game, right? Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. You've got a zone blocking scheme. Kevin Stefanski was taught by Gary Kubiak and Rick Dennison when he was in Minnesota. The problem is, well, you've got some offensive line injuries right now here in training camp for the Browns, but it all comes down to Kevin Stefanski. The dude panics, right? And he doesn't trust his running game the way he should. A guy like Nick Chubb, give him 15 to 20 carries a game, and he will do everything for you. You don't have receivers. Line up Kareem Hunt in the slot. Line him out wide. Whatever you want to do with him there. Get creative with that. But you need to establish that running game, and I think Stefanski abandons it too much for me to trust it. Now the 8.5 here. I mean, you're looking at can they go 9-8? Maybe they could. Could they go 8-9? Maybe they could. So I'm probably just going to leave that alone as far as a win total goes for the Browns. But it's disappointing to see that they're in this spot right now.
Yeah, it is going to be really interesting to see how their team does moving forward because they have one of the most incredible rosters in the NFL. Top 5, in my opinion. And I don't know if you feel the same way, but this is definitely a win total that I'm staying away from. I don't want any of that smoke. I don't want any of that sauce. It's too volatile for me to even know what they're going to be capable of doing with a guy like Jacoby Brissett under center for 11 games. So this is one that I just stay away from. One that I'm not staying away from, though, and rightly so. Tom Brady obviously left the Buccaneers on August 11th, so that's about a week ago now, to deal with a personal matter that none of us really know what's going on. Todd Bowles, the Bucs head coach, said there's no definitive timetable for Brady's return. What are your thoughts on the situation? Because right now the win total is set at 11.5. The Bucs to win the NFC South is -270, so it's extremely juicy. And the Bucs to win the entire NFC is +340 right now. I know I made a bet a few weeks ago where I parlayed the Bucs to win the NFC South and the Bills to win their division, and I actually got it at plus money, +102, and that's one of my best bets heading into the season. I don't have any doubt that Tom Brady will be under center come game 1 of the regular season. I really don't think he's going to miss any regular season action. We still have a few weeks before that, but I want to get your take and how this impacts the bet futures market, like how you bet the futures market for the Bucs, NFC South, NFC in general.
Well, I was leaning on, when it came to bets for the Bucs, and whether you're talking player props or team props, I mean, the -270 to win the South, I mean, it's a trash division right now, right? I mean, maybe the Saints, if their defense steps up and if Jameis Winston.
They're not going to win the division. They're not.
I mean, if he can be accurate, no, probably not. But Panthers certainly aren't, and the Falcons certainly aren't. So there's no value really in the Bucs at -270 to win that. But I'll ask you this one here. Would it really surprise you to, kind of see that Tom Brady was like, maybe I made a mistake here? My offensive line is being decimated. I just lost, I lost my 2 guards. My center went down for the season. Chris Godwin doesn't look all that great coming back yet. He still needs to work himself into it. Mike Evans is dealing with a hamstring issue. It's going to be tough. He doesn't want to throw the ball 700 times again this season. So I thought that they would kind of lean a little bit heavier on Leonard Fournette, who, is dealing with his daily bumps and bruises. And he's also dealing with a messed up offensive line. So I won't touch them, as far as the 11.5 win totals. Well, when you've got 6 wins almost in the bag because of your division, it's really tough to kind of bet against them. I think they also kind of have a little bit of a cakewalk schedule. Their out of conference schedule might be, playing me, playing the Jets, and maybe somebody with like a jugs machine and a bag of footballs is going to be playing up against them. So, I don't want to bet against them on the win total. I don't necessarily know if I'd be like all in on an over 11.5. It's still kind of a big number, but again, when you've got it that easy in your division, you kind of do. But Tommy retiring?
He can't retire and then unretire and then retire again in a span of 3 months. You just can't do that. You just literally cannot do that.
He's Tom Brady.
I mean,
he's
Tom Brady. He can do whatever he wants, but
whatever he wants. It's a
that guy
coach.
Runs.
You gotta go home.
That guy runs the NFL.
Tummy. I got tummy ache. I'm gonna go home.
Roger Goodell who? Tom Brady runs the National Football League. But
Yep.
I do think that he'll be back for game one, and I'm interested to get Mike Wobchschall's thoughts on it. So let's bring him in. NFC North Division predictions. Mike Wobchschall, writer for Vikings Territory and Purple PTSD. Before we get into the NFC North Division, because Mike, I am a massive Lions fan. I am from Detroit originally. I want to get your take on TB to like Tom Brady, his situation, everything that he's going through right now. And do you think that he'll be back for game one of the regular season?
I do. I don't know what is happening, what is going through. I guess the word is that it was planned or known. So I think that would ease some concerns. Gut feeling is he'll be back. I have to be truthful though. The whole like, oh man, there's a surprise retirement, unexpected retirement thing coming did go through my mind, but only out of like fear because I'd be so bummed out because I want one more go with Tom Brady. So I don't think that is what's going to happen. I think Tom will be back, but I don't like it. I don't like, it's like, it just doesn't feel like the beginning of a story that ends with winning a Super Bowl. The quarterback was out for 2 weeks of training camp. So something doesn't feel normal or natural about it, but I do think he'll play week one of the season. I think he'll play for the duration of the season, and I think the Bucs will be in it to win it at the end.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that.
Sorry.
Oh, no, you go, Howard. You go.
Well, I was gonna jump back in, but no. I mean, listen, I know you're a Lions girl. Do you want to talk Lions right now, or do you want to you want me to hit Wobby with the real question?
Let's start with the Lions. Really quick. So obviously they are the focal point of Hard Knocks at this point. I have not yet watched an episode. So I'm waiting till the end. I'm a binge watcher. I like waiting till the end, watching everything at once. But their win total right now set at 6.5. They won 3 games last season. And they lost some games that were winnable because the luck of the Lions came on in. They lost on like a 66-yard field goal. They lost on a 51-yard field goal. They went 1-5-1 in games decided by 4 or fewer points. Can you see them with a guy like Dan Campbell at the helm of this team? Now, Jared Goff, who is a bottom-tier quarterback, but they have taken a step forward with their O-line, with Evan Brown, Tracy Walker III, CJ Moore is going to make the secondary a little bit better. Can you see this team getting to 7 wins this season and really taking a jump from last year?
Yes, I can. If I had to play this, Lauren, I would play over the Lions win total. I think what we're seeing in the NFC.
Give me something to root for.
And I'll tell you, it's not because I love the quarterback. I don't hate Jared Goff, but I don't love him, and I don't want to hang my hat on Jared Goff. But there's enough to like here outside of your sort of in-between feelings on the quarterback. There's enough to like about the Lions to play the over here. And what I think we're seeing, guys, in the NFC North is a simple flip-flop of the Bears and the Lions, where the Lions have been the cellar dwellers for most of my life. I think the Bears are in that position right now, and I think the Lions have taken a step up. I will credit Campbell for that and leadership within the organization. I think you got to cite some weakness in the Bears for that as well. But at the end of the day, I like the Lions to surpass their win total here of 6.5. Looking at my notes, 3 of their first 4 games are at home. They also have a game at Minnesota and at New England, which I think are not like lock losses for the Lions. I think those are games that you can say they won't be favored in, but they'll have a shot to win. And then in December, guys, Jacksonville, Jets, Carolina, Chicago in December. So if you can get a few wins.
Win.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you can get a few wins, just a few wins early on, I think, and you're in play in December, you got a shot to win 3 or 4 games in December. So I like the over for the Lions this year.
Let's go. Honestly, I'd run through a wall for Dan Campbell, Howard, wouldn't you?
No, probably not. But I mean, listen, there are so many other people I would rather run through a wall for here, and Wobby's gonna be super excited right now because I want to talk Vikings, baby. I really do. I put action on Vikings to win the division at 2 plus 235. I sprinkled a little something on plus 1,800 for them to win the conference. I have a little sprinkle on Kevin O'Connell to win Coach of the Year. I love what they're doing right now. And listen, I was a huge fan of Kubiak and Dennison and what they were doing in Minnesota with the ground game. But here you go. You're talking about Kevin O'Connell, who basically wants to turn Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson into Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp. It's a very pass-heavy scheme. A lot of great route trees and verbiage that's going on there. You've got a guy like Adam Thielen. I'm incredibly bullish on the Vikings here. Justin Jefferson is my 1-1 in fantasy, and everybody thinks I'm bonkers. But I'm ready to just put the purple on, be the purple people eater, wear my Fran Tarkenton jersey proud. Wobby, talk me out of the crazy tree here, or get up in here with me.
No, I'm not going to talk you down from the tree, but I want you just to go to a different branch somewhere. Like I think you're in the right church, wrong pew. That's what I'll say. I agree with you on Jefferson. I mean, the guy's going to get a boatload of targets. I mean, he's going to be, and we can compare him to Cooper Kupp if we want and all that, whatever. That's right. Yeah, he's that guy. What I think where I think O'Connell will be tested here, guys, is in trying to map out a season or a plan for Cousins right after what you did with Stafford. We got to remember that while Cousins, you can argue, is perhaps more skilled or plays the position with more poise or etiquette, Matthew Stafford has an unabashed gunslinger mentality where even if it's not the right player, the guy's not totally open, Stafford is going to force it in there and it might work out. And I think about the throw that he made at the end of the divisional playoff game against Tampa Bay to beat the Buccaneers. That took some guts to make that throw. Cousins will not do that. Cousins is a computer. He's not gonna make a bunch of boneheaded, awful mistakes, but he's not gonna jump out of his skin and do something unbelievable in a clutch moment. And Kevin O'Connell needs to realize that and coach with that in mind. And if O'Connell can do that, then Cousins can operate this offense in a way that will have the Vikings be a top 5 offense and be in it to win the division at the end of the season. I would play over the Vikings win total. I think they will finish with the exact same record as the Green Bay Packers. And so it will come down to their head-to-head matchups and their record within the division to see who will win this division. But I would play over on the Vikings win total.
Bold. 9 wins for the Vikings. Their biggest issue last year was their 24th ranked defense. They were awful against the pass. They had the second most sacks in the NFL behind the Steelers. And the rushing defense didn't make up for much of what they were going to be able to do. For me, this is a win total I'm staying away from. Just the fact that you talk about Kirk Cousins being a computer, but if they can't make a commitment to Kirky more than 1 year, I just can't be all about the Vikings this season. But another team that I'm really not all about is the Chicago Bears, because they did absolutely nothing in the draft, and they are having a complete overhaul, a fire sale of their team at this point. But what they did was they went quantity in the draft over quality, in my opinion. I think they drafted like 8 guys in rounds 4 through 6. I don't even know, but you look at this team, and obviously they have Matty Ice now, brand new head coach in Chicago. It's his era. It could get ugly. I mean, do we believe in Justin Fields and what he's going to be able to do for the Chicago Bears team? Because we know as Lions fans what the bottom of the cellar looks like. I've been there my whole life with the team. Finally, we drank enough wine in the bottom of that cellar to get out, and the Bears are taking over for the bottom of the division, in my opinion.
Yeah, Lauren, I think you're on the right track there. I mean, Howard, you look at if you're the Bears, what are you hanging your hat on? I mean, I guess
Nothing.
There's 2 answers. There is, and I'm with you, Lauren. I agree. I mean, you're hoping Justin Fields is Superman, and even if he is, I don't know if that's going to be good enough going against the Vikings, Lions, and Packers. The Bears, I think, will be favored in only 2 of their first 6 games. They play Houston, and then they play the Giants and Washington. So I think one of those games they'll be dogs, and the other 2 maybe they'll be favored. That's it. Their last 4 games, Philly, Buffalo, Detroit, and Minnesota. Yikes. I mean, I don't think they're going to sniff this number. I don't think they will sniff 6.5. I would play this. This would be one of the, you look at your bankroll and how you're going to divvy it up. I mean, I would go in heavy on this one. And I'm not trying to disrespect what's going on in Chicago. I bet you that they have a vision and a plan, and we'll see if that works out. But I can't see them getting to 7 wins this year.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, I think they're garbage. I do. And I mean, where's Fields throwing the ball to, right? I mean, his weapons are a hot mess right now. It really is. It's not even just the injury aspect. It's just that they're all subpar receivers as well. Cole Kmet is not going to catch 120 passes, for 20 touchdowns this year. That's really all they've got. Now, the Packers, who have been the darlings of the NFC North for the entire time, the win total is at 11. I kind of feel like it's shaky. I mean, they're out of conference and out of division schedule. It has some ups and downs. Like they're going to have to face Buffalo, but then they get the Jets, right? They're going to face Washington and the Giants. So I mean, this is it's tough for me to look at this and say, can the Packers win 11 games? I feel like a push is coming on this win total, but. Wobby, you take a look at this team right now. You know what the ground game's all about with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. You've got some weaponry for Aaron Rodgers, but he just called out every single one of his receivers for screwing up in practice right now because he doesn't have Davante Adams in that security blanket. Is Aaron Rodgers in trouble for this year? Are the Packers in trouble for this year? And should we just look to Aaron Rodgers playing Cameron Poe in Con Air Part 2?
Yeah. Well, it's not like so you've laid the situation out in Green Bay accurately, in my view. The thing that is working out in Green Bay's favor here is that they don't play in a really tough division, okay? And also what they are tasking their quarterback with doing is difficult, but it's Aaron Rodgers. It's not like they're asking Kyler Murray to do it or Matt Ryan to do it or Daniel Jones. They're asking Aaron Rodgers to do it. Like, this is the guy. And I think he can do it. And it's not going to look the same as it looked with Davante Adams or Jordy Nelson or Greg Jennings. It's not going to look the same. It's just not. But you know what? They also have a better defense than they ever had with any of those other receivers right now. And they also have a better running game than they had with any of those other receivers right now. And I know that for Packers fans, that's not as sexy of an approach as it has been with Packers in the high-flying passing game. But Matt LaFleur knows how to build a ground game. He did it for a season with Derrick Henry in Tennessee. I'm not comparing A.J. Dillon or Aaron Jones to Derrick Henry. What I am saying, though, is that there is some semblance of balance here, and there is a semblance of a good defense that they can rely on, and that is going to help offset the loss of Davante Adams. It will not overcome it. They are not going to have the teeth, the muscle that they had with Davante Adams, but they're going to have enough to be there with the Vikings in the end. And I can't get myself, guys, to stand on the table and be like, this is the year that Kirk Cousins surpasses Aaron Rodgers for the division title. I can't do it.
I'll do that for you. I'll take that.
You will do that. You will do that up in that purple Vikings crazy tree up there. I know you'll do that, but I can't quite do it.
Oh my God.
I think both teams will make the playoffs, though.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I agree with you too. And here's the thing. I have questions about the chemistry with Aaron Rodgers and some of the wideouts that he's going to be having this season. I think this team is going to run the ball a lot more this year, but you look at how their odds were adjusted because last year their win total was set around 13. This year it's 11. I think that's right because you look at a guy like Davante Adams, he was probably worth 2 wins for that team last year, just like last second plays or just things that he did during the games. He earned that team at least 2 wins on his own. So it is going to be interesting to see how Aaron Rodgers adjusts this year, how the coaching staff adjusts this year. But I'm looking forward to seeing who wins the NFC North, and I'm just looking forward to seeing my Lions hopefully be able to bring more to the table. We so appreciate you coming on, giving us your knowledge, and best of luck this season. Enjoy covering the NFC North, Mike. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Same to you guys, and let's do this again. It was fun.
Let's do it again. Mike Wobchschall, writer for Vikings Territory and Purple PTSD. You love to see it. All right, Howard, before we get into our best bets of the day, let's talk about the 3-star play of the day. Make sure to go to Pickswise.com and check out the 3-star play of the day because we always have a few of those on there. But now let's get into our best bets of the day. Miss Linda, you like a good old-fashioned run line play. How do we feel about it?
We feel pretty good about it. I made it my play of the day here, right? I mean, listen. There's no value on a lot of money lines that come through when you're looking at a matchup like you're getting here with the St. Louis Cardinals, right? They're going up. It's Miles Michaelis going up against Tommy Henry, and Henry looked great in his debut, but then he got slapped around a little bit in his next start there. Michaelis has been steady. The St. Louis Bats. I love what's going on right now. Dylan Carlson looks good. Nolan Arenado looks like an MVP. Paul Goldschmidt is having himself a year. They're minus 190 on the money line, so I love taking St. Louis here as the visiting team on the run line. They'll get the full complement of at-bats. They just need to win this one here by 2. I don't think there's a problem with that. I'm pushing all in here. I'm getting it for minus 110, which makes me feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, I really do like that, actually. That's going to be an exciting game to watch. I'm also looking forward to that Braves-Astros series, a rematch this weekend of the World Series, and then the one I'm looking at, a team that I watched pretty recently, and I know that you're a big fan of, Kevin Gausman going up against your New York Yankees. I like the over 6.5 here in this spot at plus 118. He's matched or gone over this total in 4 of his last 6 starts. He's had 2 double-digit strikeout performances over that time, and he's going up against the Yankees, who, I'm sorry about it, have been struggling a lot lately. Over the last 2 weeks, they have a strikeout rate of 26.9% against righty pitchers, which is the 4th worst in Major League Baseball, Howard. They also have a WRC plus of 72. That is horrible for the Yankees, and an 8.1% walk rate. What is happening to the Yankees? Because of that, I am fading them. I am going Gausman over 6.5 at plus money. Why not? Give me that plus money, baby. Lock it on in there. What's happening to your Yankees?
Peaks and valleys there, Lauren. Peaks and valleys. It's what we get. There's no concern here. There's no concern here. And yes, it's a down time, and it's a great time to take Gausman. Listen, if his split finger is on today, Yankees are going to be whiffing nonstop. I mean, it's just they are a boom and bust team. So I think that this is a great play. The Yankees just need to worry about getting hot in September, and that's all they really want to do is they want to make sure that they go into the playoffs with momentum. So, taking a little downturn here in the latter part of August doesn't really upset me that much. I want to see the strong September, big power coming after Labor Day. That's what's going to pay off my Yankee World Series bets.
We hope the Yankees are whiffing and we're winning. That's it for us today. Find us on the Pickswise YouTube channel. Go to Pickswise.com. Follow us on Twitter. Howard Bender, Lauren Javara. Have a great weekend, guys. I'll see you Monday. We have a show tomorrow. Make sure to tune in for that. Let's get it. Let's bet it.